Welcome to this edition of Breeding to Win. Well, things are heating up for the Highveld summer season for this year's R2 million World Sports Betting Gauteng Summer Cup, with the likes of Got the Green Light Malmoose, 3-year-old champion filly of last season War of Athena, and recent Victory Moon Stakes winner Sparkling Water, all making the lineup. This year's race certainly looks to be exhilarating for all racing enthusiasts. Well, we've got a lovely show lined up for you tonight as Fiona Ramsden takes some time out for a beach day with some beautiful equine athletes.
Snaith Racing have been bringing their horses to the beach here at Muizenberg for many years, and it's part of their training regime, and I can quite understand why. The horses absolutely love it. It really is a sight to see on a Friday morning. Justin, it has many benefits, doesn't it? Not only physically with the salt water obviously on their legs, but mentally as well. It just keeps them so happy.
Well, it's very interesting. You saw the fantastic winner of the Melbourne Cup, and the next day you see all the Instagram photos of her on the beach. So it just shows you it's not just here in South Africa but all around the world. We try to replicate it. A lot of you get these spa baths and that, and it's just you can try, but it's just not the same. There's the amount of salt that you have to put in to get to this level is just, you could never keep up. I've actually got 2 horses here that more than likely would never make it to the racetrack this weekend. But with this, it gives them an opportunity. You know, you get those little niggles and the leg blows, and you want to be ensure that the horses are comfortable. This may just give me that opportunity of the horses making the races. You know, sadly it comes with everything. I mean, if you're an athlete and you get injured just before a race, you can't predict it, and these things happen. But this certainly gives us one chance to, ensure the horses are as comfortable as they can be.
But mentally as well, I always see very, very happy horses on the beach. They love the sea water splashing around. They love rolling in the sand. It's like a child having the best play date on a Friday morning.
It was perfectly shown when our lead pony, he roams our farm freely, and he climbs into the float himself. I mean, have you ever seen it? You gone are the days where horses used to not load. I've got horses that walk in on their own. I mean, he's got no bridle on. We put the bridle on him in the float and bring him here. So if he's willing to do something like that, that the others aren't far behind him.
But it must get quite boring for them. They're on the tracks all week. So for them to come for this outing really does keep them fresh.
Where we train here in Cape Town, it is a farm environment, so we get away with that. They mentally there's no problems. But obviously when you're in training facilities like, I'll probably say like Turffontein, places like that, where it becomes a little bit monotonous, something like this would work really well. But unfortunately, they know we're near the ocean, and we are. So the whole thing is to use what you have. You said we've been doing it for years. I think my father was here in 72. We owned the land just a little way away, about I would say 5 minutes away down the road. And this was always part of my training. My father, and he used to use the tracks right here. He used to work the horses along the ocean.
It's fantastic, and I think you're very brave because you bring some of your runners that'll be running on a Saturday here on a Friday, and they're worth fortunes, and you let them enjoy themselves on the beach. But it does them good, and they arrive at the racecourse in a happy space.
Very much so. As I said, it's not the ideal thing. If you're coming here the day before, it's not ideal, but you've got to give it every chance of the horse arriving at a race meeting in a good nick.
Well, your truck's just arrived, and I know you're a great horseman yourself, so you're going to pop on one, so we're going to look forward to filming them.
I've chosen very carefully today, so I'll probably be on jet dark. If you want to see, have a quick look at a horse coming off, have a look at this now and how fresh he is. So I better be sharp today.
Fantastic. I look forward to watching them. Thanks very much, Justin.
Great, thanks.
Looking forward to seeing the horses coming off the truck here now from Snaith Racing and following them on the beach this morning. It's a fantastic sight to see. So it's Friday morning, we're here at Muizenberg Beach, and we've got Snaith Racing who've brought a string down to the beach, and we've also got Brett Crawford's string in the background. But it was lovely talking to Justin Snaith. He's in the bright blue jacket on Jet Dark. He's a great horseman himself, and he's riding one of his horses this morning, and Jet Dark was full of beans when he got off the truck, but he's nice and settled now. He's in the sea, and they really do look to be having a magnificent time. It really is a sight to see such high quality thoroughbreds here on the beach at Muizenberg. As you can see now, these horses are so relaxed. They're just enjoying the water, ears pricked, really enjoying themselves. And even Jet Dark settled down now, he's in the water. And the benefits of this salt water is just amazing for their legs, for their joints, for their muscles. And you can see for healthy minds as well, happy horses here on a Friday morning. Sometimes the horses get quite deep into the water. Obviously that's better. The salt water and its benefits is absolutely amazing. And enjoying the morning on the beach. It's just such a nice thing to do after a long week on the tracks back at home, for them to just enjoy themselves, relax. And afterwards, once they've finished walking in the sea, they'll have a lovely roll in the sand, which they absolutely love. And then they'll go home, happy horses, ready for the weekend's racing. Brett Crawford's got a large string here this morning, and Brett's with me now. Brett, so beneficial bringing the horses to the beach. They love the seawater, they love their roll afterwards. You've got a big string here. Looks like you've got some first-timers as well.
Yeah, Pete, there's a couple of horses having their first experience at the beach today. A couple of tomorrow's runners are here as well. So, yeah, it's just a fantastic day out for them, relax, and, you know, I think it's good for the soul.
Not too windy today, it's perfect conditions as well.
Yeah, nice low tide. The beach is wonderful for them to walk on, so it's going to be a good morning for them.
Yeah, and I always say, you know, apart from the physical wellness of the seawater, obviously, but mentally it's just so good for them, isn't it?
No, exactly. I mean, it's amazing how many times you bring first-timers here, and for the first 10, 15 minutes they're a little bit excited, but they soon settle into it and relax, and, you know, they just enjoy the morning out.
And we'll see them rolling shortly, but they love that as well, don't they?
Yeah, very much so. You know, it's all part and parcel of the morning off, and what a better way to spend it.
And they tend to, for expensive, highly strung racehorses, they always tend to be quite relaxed here. You know, once they, as you said, once they get here and they get in the swing of it. Yeah,
it's actually amazing that you know, just shows you, I think, how much they appreciate a little bit of downtime, because, like you say, they soon settle down and they enjoy it.
Over the years, obviously, this has become a vital part of your training regime.
Yeah, I mean, generally most Fridays we come, just obviously weather dependent, but in summer, pretty much we're here every Friday, and it's just a wonderful, you know, we try and swap the horses around so most of them can get a bit of an experience, especially the horses that are having a hard campaign.
And when the big guns are here on a Friday going into Saturday's meeting, they must just arrive on course on a Saturday in a good frame of mind.
Yeah, I'm sure it all helps, you know. I just think, I mean, as you say, standing here, looking at this, it's just, the beach is always good.
It's a breathtaking sight, seeing the horses in the sea and on the beach. I think you can never get tired of that.
No, exactly. It's one of the big accolades of training in the Cape, that's for sure.
Fantastic. Well, we'll look forward to seeing your horses come back and have a nice roll. Thanks very much, Brett.
Pleasure.
Great to see Brett String and Snaith racing here on the beach, and we're going to see them rolling in a minute when they come back from their stroll in the sea, but they certainly look to be having a magnificent time.
Trainer Paul Peters started his career back in 2010, in April in fact, and 3 months later saddled up his first winner. 11 years down the line, Trainer Paul Peters is associated with some of the top owners and racehorses in South Africa. It's my pleasure to welcome Paul Peters to the Breeding to Win show. Paul, thank you so much for your time and for taking up the time to be on the Breeding to Win show. So from those early days, Paul, of only having a small string, it's now grown to close to 200 horses.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful journey. It's been a few rocky roads, ups and downs, but I've got a lot of people to thank that's behind me and who helped me and gave me a chance. In the early days, was James Marie, who's really played a big part in my career. Dennis Bosch down in Durban, has also helped me a lot, and Mr. Ferraris.
Looking back, there's obviously been a lot of hard work, but also experience along your journey.
Yes, most definitely. And those 3 men have got a lot of knowledge, and I just sponge off them. I just absorb everything I can get out of them. I tease them a lot of phone calls. Mr. Ferraris is here with me every day, so I drive him crazy. But you never stop learning.
Those early days, I still remember Magico being your first winner, and then of course Henry Higgins, who was for me just that one horse that just was a little ATM machine. He ran his heart out. Now to a string of over 200 horses. You don't get that without knowing your game and without training winners, and people want to be associated with winners. So I want you to take us through what's caught your eye in selecting racehorses to be champions.
Well, you know what? It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work. In selecting horses, you've got to do your homework at the sales. We try and go through every horse at the sale, and we give them a rating. Those 3 men that I mentioned, they really taught me a lot on how to select a horse. They all 3, James, Dennis and Mr. Ferraris, all got a wonderful eye at the sale, and each one taught me something else. And we go and we give the horses a rating, and the main thing we do, we like the horses walk. When a horse walks, he must walk light on his feet, and he must look like he's going somewhere. He mustn't drag his legs.
He must flow.
He must flow.
Okay, so you're going to get Grimaldi over here, and you're going to take us through some of the other points, because obviously conformation also plays an important part in selecting horses at the sale.
Yes, I'm very critical on conformation, because you buy a horse that's problematic, you're going to sit with the problem for the next 4-5 years. And we want to actually lengthen the horse's career instead of it being shorter. They've only got a couple of years of racing in them. So by having a problematic horse and buying a horse with the wrong conformation, you actually shortening the career, and very few of them last into their 5- and 6-year-old careers.
Okay, so let's take us through the conformation that you look for at the sale.
Yes, Grimaldi, he's a perfect horse to assess. The first thing I like is a nice bold head, and Grimaldi definitely has a bold head, and he's got a good eye. He's got a lovely eye. He catches everyone's attention, and then I like a nice deep girth, a lot of lung and heart space. And then I like a horse to flow. They must flow. They must divide them in 3.
Okay.
3, and a nice forearm, strong forearm, hind quarter, lovely gaskin, and I like a straight hind leg. There, if you have a look at his hind leg, it's a nice straight hind leg, and deep girth, nice length of rein.
Okay, pedigree-wise, do you actually go into pedigree a lot?
You know what, Jules? I actually look at the specimen first, and then I look at the pedigree. The specimen must fit the page, because being in the game for so many years, you get to know how the stallion should throw them, and you know the dam's family. You go back. So I actually make I make records of how I think they should be, and then I look at the page. So basically, I check every horse at the sale, make a note, and then I look at the pedigree. And if the pedigree fits the horse, we go have a second look. One thing I missed out is the feet. It's no use having a massive horse with little tiny feet. It's like they saw my Michael Phelps. He's a massive tall guy with size 17 feet. That should suit. You get a big horse with little hoofs, I guess, it's just not in sync. So
they've got to have big hooves for
good,
balance.
Healthy hoofs, yeah.
And that also helps with the balance, because
Yes.
they are carrying full 500 kg.
Correct. And we don't want the horse to be upright. They've got to have enough slope, and they mustn't be back at the knee or too over at the knee.
Okay, so when you say back at the knee, what does that mean?
When you say back at the knee, it's got a bit of a like a curve, going the opposite way. And when they run, those knees take a pounding. When you say over at the knee, they over at the knee. Yeah.
So this would be a perfect confirmation.
Yeah, well, close to
perfect.
perfect, yes.
Paul, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here at your stables at Turfentine, and for taking us through those important points of how to purchase and what to look for when purchasing a racehorse.
It's only a pleasure, Jules. If we can help this industry grow, it benefits everyone, and it's such a lovely sport to be in. It's a lot of hard work, but we just love it. It's a passion. We work 7 days a week, but it's not work to us, because we really, really love it, and we love these animals, and we try to give them the best care and the best of everything.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Well-known Cape Town-based jockey Robert Khathi is the new addition to the Breeding to Win show. Fiona chats to Robert and welcomes him on board.
Robert Khathi certainly needs no introduction to the racing ranks in this country. Of course, he is a well-established jockey, riding at the top of his game, but he will be joining us on the Breeding to Win team as one of the presenters, and it's great to welcome him this afternoon and get to know a little bit more about Robert. Robert, welcome.
Thank you, Fee. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you on the show. You're now going to be part of the team, which is really exciting.
Yes, can't wait. Excited.
As I said, we all know you as a fully fledged jockey. You're riding well, you're riding freelance. You've actually come from riding work this morning.
Yes, I just came back from Platinum from riding work. I'm like a freelance jockey. I try to ride work for everybody, just so everybody can see me around, and hopefully I can get some rides for everybody.
Yeah, and doing lots of travelling. You normally get yourself to Port Elizabeth on a Friday as well. You're really travelling around and getting as many rides as you can.
Yes, that's the main key, I feel. When you got a family, obviously you just have to try and work for everybody and get a lot of rides, and you know, it's part of a game, and try and earn as much money as you can.
Challenging times, but you have been over the years involved with some big stables, and you managed to get yourself on some really nice rides.
Yes, I mean, I was involved with Justin Snaith stable last season. We did pretty well, and obviously now I'm doing a lot of riding work for everybody, so hopefully also this season can pick up for me as well.
And it's great to have you on board as part of the Breeding to Win team, because you obviously have knowledge of the racing world and the breeding side of things as well.
Yes. You know, you need ride work for everybody. You obviously get to know most of the horses around. You just don't have to know maintain horses for one stable. Can, like, if you ride work, like I ride work for Andre, ride for Michelle Crawford, for Bass. There's so many trainers that I work for.
But now presenting is going to be very, very new to you. So going to be quite a challenge for you at first, but quite exciting.
Yeah, I just need to get used to it, but I'll be fine.
We're quite an easy bunch to work for. It's not too bad.
100%, thank you.
But no, so it's great to have you on the show, and obviously lots to look forward to with this Cape season ahead. You must be really, really excited for what's coming ahead with the big races.
Yes, 100%. You know, especially now in Cape Town, there's so many good horses that are coming up. So youngsters, it's going to be interesting to see what youngsters are coming up, like for the filly skinnies, for the colt skinnies. It's going to be very interesting this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully we're going to get crowds back on course as well. Yes.
I can't wait. Everybody's have to be fully vaccinated. Just hopefully everybody stick to what we have to do, and then everybody can come to the course. Lots
of good races coming up this season. I can't wait for the Queen's Plate again, the Met, to have those crowds, to have those top horses. We were lucky enough to be on the beach this morning with Snaith Racing and Brett Crawford, and they've got some really, really top horses in their yards. We saw Jet Dark on the beach, and he looks just absolutely magnificent.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting this year to see between Jet Dark and Comet the Ding, the two young horses. Obviously, they're the ones that to look forward to for the season. You know, going to be very interesting.
Yeah, and for you, apart from getting around and riding lots of work, obviously you have to keep yourself fit and you keep really busy, but your new job with us, being one of the presenters, is going to be fabulous, and hopefully get you involved more a little bit in the breeding side of things and following that as well.
No, 100%. We obviously don't just get fit at track. We do gym, and we were gymming yesterday, myself, Aldo and Jason, so we're trying to keep fit everywhere. We play soccer now and then, like indoor soccer, and sometimes cricket, but cricket, I'm not that good at cricket, but I try.
And Cape Town's the place to be. You've got your family here, which is great, and obviously working hard to support them.
Yes, there's 2 boys and 2 girls, so, and obviously my missus is working, and we try to put things together and as a family, but we're going all right.
And hopefully you'll get some rides in those big races going forward. As you said, you're riding for some of the bigger stables. Any rides that sort of stick out at the moment that you've got lined up?
You know, I've been riding for Kenny's as well. Kenny's got a lot of horses, young horses are coming up, so hopefully you can manage to stick 1 or 2, like to get 1 or 2 rides there for the filly skinnies or colt guineas. So, but I'm looking forward to it, and obviously for Mike Robinson, he's got a nice young horse that's coming up for the season. I can't wait for that horse to come up, and then he's going to show his true quality for the season.
And it's great because if you get yourself out there, some of these bigger trainers with the big strings, even if you're riding second string, you can very often be on the right one.
No, 100%. If you ride for like guys like Snaith or Brett Crawford or Dean Kaname or Candice, you know, if you're sitting on the second choice, you as good as the first choice. You know, they got so many. You find it quite a lot that the stable jockey choose the wrong horse in a race, and you come and beat them. You know.
And how many years have you been riding? Obviously, you did the academy and the whole thing here in South Africa.
Yes, I started. I did my From 2001, I did my apprenticeship up to 2005. 2005, I think, yeah. And I was a fully jockey from 2006, yes. So from 2006 to now, so so many years.
Really looking forward to having you, Robert. I think you'll be in the hot seat over the next couple of weeks. So
yeah, I can't wait. So probably get better. They're talking, I'm just nervous, but I'll get better. I'll get used to it.
I'm sure you will. You're certainly used to being on the other side of the microphone as a winning jockey. But yeah, it's a bit different being on my side. But we look forward to that. And thanks for taking your time this morning, Robert.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Really looking forward to having Robert Khathi as part of our Breeding to Win team, a new up-and-coming young presenter, and it's great to have his input and knowledge of horse racing on our show. So we look forward to seeing Robert over the coming weeks.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's edition of Breeding to Win. Don't forget to join us for more Breeding to Win action next week.